this is a nightmare. We do not know anything about this, this new thing. And John, I think I know there was a new rendering engine with some type of texture. They were doing something with the textures. Yeah, and remember when Modern Warfare came out, they redid the lighting engine, which was very impressive. It's still a DX9 game. They haven't gone to DX10. I want to say the underlying technology there is, like Garrett was saying, still based off of the old Quake engine, and I don't know how hard it would have been to leave that stuff there, unless for some strange reason it mucked up the console side. So that was the first they ripped out, and then they were like, oops, when they remembered they had to do that PC port, they forgot about it, and that now they're scrambling, and they're at their wits' end because they would miss that deadline. And to save face, there's a lot of things they can pull.
I'd rather have waited that extra 2 weeks, another proper functioning game, than get it on release day. But hey, that's just me.
I wouldn't have cared if we had to wait another 2 months, as long as we have a decent game that's playable on release.
Exactly. If they communicated with us, they explained it. Again, I think we're all big boys here, and we would have taken that as, hey, you know what, shit happens, and we understand that things got delayed. But you're telling us why, and you're giving us a good expectation.
Right.
Right.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for your phone call. Say that again one more time.
I said maybe they just laid off their PC staff because of the depression, and now they're just trying to make some compromises, just port the game, and that's it. Not change anything else.
Redog, you're pretty close to them, aren't you? Yeah, I mean, they had millions and millions of copies sold last time, or in COD 4, so yeah, I think they're pretty solid. But anyway, thanks a lot for your phone call. It's been insightful.
Can I ask one?
Question.
Could I ask a few things in regards to modding communities, or even indie developers? Do you think that there is a rise of indie developers in the last 2 or 3 years because of the lack of PC support, or do you think it's because of other reasons?
To be honest with you, I think most of the indie developers that have risen for these past couple years have been developers that were laid off, or divisions that were cut from, say, Activision or Idios or
Right.
ID, or things like that. It's it'll be interesting. There's smaller companies, the guys that are doing the oh god, I can't even think of it. They won the UT championship a couple years ago, and they're doing the Russian front mod. Those guys,
Tripwire,
those guys are doing some amazing things. There's a lot of people doing amazing things, and that's as a community, and as competitive players, we need to seek out and try to find the best company to fit our needs. And right now, I don't think IW is not it anymore. And I don't know if they really were. We've always been fighting with them, and we've always kind of taken whatever little they've given us, and we've been very grateful for that.
Yeah, I would agree, but again, don't you think some of it is the publisher too? I mean, the developer can only I would think the developer can only do so much in terms of saying what they want. I mean, isn't it the publisher that has the final say pretty much?
Oh,
well,
definitely.
Activision owns them, so yeah, they're calling the shots.
Right. So if they want them to go primarily consoles, then there's not much we can do.
Exactly. And I don't know, I'm trying to think of other developers that are owned by Activision and where they're focused on. Activision unfortunately seems to be a console-centric type of company, and that's where their big bucks are. They're putting all their eggs in that basket, and unfortunately, we're PC customers, and our eggs are not in that basket. We're kind of broken on the floor, shoved under the refrigerator.
Have any of you guys played Battlefield or any of the Battlefield franchise games? Just out of curiosity.
Oh yeah.
Played 2142.
Yeah, I'm a big 2142 guy myself. I don't mind the future stuff, but one thing I noticed about at least the the DICE community manager, Baziati. I don't know if that's. I'm not going to say his real name. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but that's his community manager name, and on the forums, and he seems to be doing a pretty decent job of gathering out the patches. Because I don't know if you noticed, but the BF2 patch came out about after a year it was announced, mainly because of a lot of things, illegal and all that, but it ended up being 1.9 gigabytes, and I was just amazed at how much they were able to fix, and they did fix one.
Trust Woolite detergent. It cleans your jeans and won't torture your tanks, so your clothes stay looking and fitting like new. Woolite, long live your wardrobe.
One of the key components to it, which was the server crashing. That's another element of some games, is that you get a popular game server and then a person that just doesn't like you crashes your server. So I just thought I'd bring that up because a lot of games do have this issue. Not many, but quite a few do. And it's nice to see that a DICE would be supporting. I mean, as many people that don't like DICE or EA, they still should be given some credit, I think, because BF2 is about almost 5 years old. It'll be 5 years old in 2011, so technically 4 years, but it's still a great game to play, and they're still supporting it. I think that's fantastic. And Infinity Ward, on the other hand, is releasing games, every 2 years about?
Yep. And they give them...
They bounce them between developers, Treyarch and IW.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of developers, we actually have another question. This is from Captain Joe. This is from a text. He's in New York. He was wondering if there's any inside info as to when the IW engineers are going to tell us exactly what IWNet is. Has anyone seen on tweets or anything else on more info about what IWNet exactly is?
I don't think anyone knew what IWNet was before Rob spoke today, and unfortunately I don't think we're going to hear anything until about 3 weeks after the game is released, when everyone comes back from vacation.
Well, that's right, everyone becomes lazy after the release of the game. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, you can't forget about that, yep.
So if you guys have questions, feel free to hit us up, irc.gamesearch.net. You can join us in pound / or pound efrag TV. You can also text us. The number is 762-23-EFRAG. I think we're 2 hours into this now. My hard drive's getting pretty full. So I think we're going to start closing things down here in the next 30 minutes or so. So if you have questions, try to get them in. But what were you saying, Souls?
I was just going to say, I was noticing on your site, Rude Dog, that you had jokingly posted some info about Left 4 Dead 2 on a related note, and just basically saying that Valve really does support their games well, and I've noticed that pretty much from the get-go. I mean, I forget I think it was the guy by the alias of Gooseman. He was the modder or someone that started up Counter-Strike, and then ever since then, it's become really big. And I guess Valve is really good at supporting their games, and I just want to point out I liked one of your articles. What was it? I think it was on the 15th of October, 2 days ago. No, yeah, 2 days ago. And
I will say that I am a little sarcastic when I post those, not towards Valve, because I have a lot of respect towards Valve, but towards all the other developers that can't put up with what Valve does.
Oh yeah, I mean, for God's sakes, Valve flew out Gabe Newell, the creator. I think he's the creator of Valve, and no other company does that. I mean, it's almost like these companies are forgetting simple things that even in Illustrate on the top of your website, which everyone can read, a FPS server guide for developers. The simplest things, it seems that people have the most difficulty when they make complicated workarounds for everything. It's really frustrating.
Thanks. It's that developer's guide came out of frustration from Medal of Honor Airborne and the community event that I attended for that one. It's frustrating. It's simple. These are simple things. Dedicated servers. How many times that have we, how long ago have we used those? This is nothing new. This is not rocket science. They are not reinventing the wheel. This stuff is, still in the engine. I'm still, there's still some other information that we do not know. There's still some other background, backdoor information that they're not telling us. I really feel that there's more to this whole IWNet and lack of dedicated servers.
What really amazes me is the fact that we have to try so hard for our information, and yet no offense to you consoles, a lot of you guys are great, but it's just we have to try so hard to get information, and they ask a question and it's answered usually within an hour or two. It really frustrates me.
The console community is also a lot younger than us. And, if the parents are buying the games, then, that's where they're getting their money from, is the younger kids begging their parents.
You got a point, yeah.
I just had a funny quote here on IRC real fast. Sorry. He says that scientists fear that 2012 has come early due to the epic fail of Modern Warfare 2. Well put.
Yeah, Root, can I go back to your point earlier about saying that why tell us this, just under a month before the game's going to come out? Why not, 6-9 months back down the line? I think, and you're saying how, they could have told us this and we could have got over it and, got used to this concept and idea and understood it a bit more. Well, it's not only that, it's also they could have actually got a bit more input from us. I mean, I'd love to find out who they actually asked these questions to get their research on. I mean, seriously, come on. They must ask some serious fucking Down syndromes, because I don't understand it.
Alex, it's funny. I think Garrett, years ago, we used to go out to these community events, and we were invited out there to offer our feedback. And, I'll even go back a couple steps back to some of the old Medal of Honor, like Pacific Assault events that I attended. They invited us out there. They get us in a room, they ask us our feedback, they take all these notes, and then they don't use it. And then they put the game out with all the bugs, all the issues that we complained about. It's like, who are you asking? And it's funny because, a lot of times they're getting people off the street to come in and play test, and basically they're paying them a free copy of whatever game they want out of the company store. They're not even paying them a regular salary. They're not dedicated to that genre. They may hate FPS game types, but they're telling them that's the game they want them to test. Like, I don't know who they're asking. That's the question that I tried to ask Rob was, where did you get this information? Where did you get this demographics of why no one wants dedicated servers? It just baffles. I can't explain it.
You know who they should have talked to, right?
The Visioneers.
In case you guys don't know, we always refer to this joke of, I was one, I think Root Dog, you were one. I mean, the Activision Visioneers were their beta testers, and they were mostly made up of a lot of competitive guys that were, league admins, and then other pubber guys as well, and modders. And, we broke those games apart, Call of Duty 1, PCW, back in the day.
Britney Spears was one.
For whatever reason, they shut down the Visioneers and went to the guy off the street instead of having people that had years of experiences with FPSs.
And the other funny thing... no, go ahead, Alex.
I don't understand how, they want it to be as easy and as painless for us as PC gamers as Rob put it, or whoever it was, and yeah, surely that entails them having more work to do. I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, but if they're not bothered about how our community is as a whole, why do they want more work? Why not just leave us to it? I mean, we do all right by ourselves when we've got the chance to change and mod things. Just leave it like that. If you don't want to bother with us, fucking hell.
Yeah.
In a way, I think I'm gonna be yelled at for saying this, but it kind of helps, put things into perspective when they tell us this late and many people are pre-ordered, because it'll kind of send them a message that, hey, this is how many people have already canceled their pre-orders, rather than if they knew this way ahead of time, they would have never gotten their pre-orders, and they would have never got a fair amount of people find out how many people actually canceled.
Exactly. Hopefully that will be a big number for them, and it's something that they have hard facts for. They can get their reports from the Amazons and the GameStops and so forth to say, hey, we had 5,000 pre-orders, and after for some reason October 17th, 2,000, 50% of those orders were canceled from just our company alone. That'll speak volumes.
All right, so everyone heard it here. Cancel your orders.
I would agree with that.
I've got one quick comment or question here from Logic. He's wondering, he says, I'm curious to know what games the casters are going to play if this bombs.
From our point of view, I mean, it's wherever people go. I mean, if they play COD 4 some more, then we'll move there. Or Left 4 Dead 2 when that comes out. I mean, it's wherever the community's going to go. I mean, we're here for you guys, so...
I think the right question needs to be rephrased to when, not if. There's no way it's an if this is going to bomb, it's when it's going to bomb, which is the 11th of November and 10th of November.
Yeah, if you got any friends, go break their Xbox or PS3, or just break their Modern Warfare 2 CD.
What I found
break their arms.
John,
fingers.
John, what I found interesting was, I remember just after sort of COD 4 started to really go in the tank as far as interest about a few months ago, I noticed that some really good shooters in COD 4, guys like Prank, were playing Quake Live. Have you ever tried that?
It's a great game.
Have I? I mean, I played it at one point. Yeah, I played at one point, but it has it's a very steep learning curve. If you don't get in on the ground floor on the first day, you're kind of screwed as a player. But I mean, casting wise, I mean, if that's where people go, we'll cast it.
Cue Garrett Jacks for the learning curve now.
Yeah, we've talked about this before because I contend that the reason that Counter-Strike and Counter-Strike Source, with their 6 or 7 maps over the last 10 years, dwarf all the other games is because of their massive learning curves. It does take longer. It's like, baseball. You go double A, triple A until pro, and that's the longevity of it. So, to me, that's a great, that's part of the reason some of these games die out so quickly is because there is no learning curve. Whereas you want to be in the top of the pros of CS.
Well, I mean, it's a double-edged blade. I mean, if you get in and you try and you come from a game where you're really good at it, and all of a sudden you are the bottom fragger for 2 months in a row just because the game has such a steep learning curve, they're going to stop playing it.
Then explain Counter-Strike, because it's still huge. So even for noobs, it can be fun. I mean, I agree with you, but there's something there. I mean, that's true. You start out and you'll get your ass kicked, but you play on the newbie servers and you work your way up.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say anything.
Sweet.
I didn't. For people that are bashing me in Quake Live, I didn't say anything bad about Quake Live. I mean, I just said it has a steep learning curve, but if that's where the community goes, then, I mean, that's where eFrag as a company will go as well.
One of the interesting...
Yeah, it is hard. It's not as good as, obviously, original Quake. It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good, though.
Yeah, but Garrett Jacks...
For a browser game, yeah.
But Garrett Jacks, isn't that the whole point? I mean, it is a browser game, and talking about cross platforms, I mean, anytime you can run a browser on something, I think you can play Quake Live. So I mean, theoretically,
and there's no real video card requirements. So yeah, it can run.
And Garrett Jack, is Quake Live a listen server setup?
No, they host it.
So how the hell did they do that? And
go ahead.
No, how the hell did they do that? And our friends at IW can't make it happen.
It's like I said. I mean, they want to make things more complicating. I don't know why. Simple is better.
They also host QuakeCon and give out 20 this game completely free,
and there goes the
year after year.
Yeah, just a quick update. I was just told by Snatch. I'm not sure how reliable the source is. Again, he's from Team Pandemic. He says apparently 2,000 pre-orders have been canceled from Amazon alone. I'm not sure how reliable that is, but...
Yeah, we said that. I think it's the same number that I gave a little while ago. It sounds like it's confirmation, I guess.
And how much money is that? 60
nice work, guys.
some bucks a game?
It's about 120,000, I think.
It's exactly 120.
That's not really a dent.
It's not a dent for IW, but I believe, Amazon would take notice and try to contact IW to say, hey, what's happening?
Yeah, I just also want to point out on the petition page for IW, they are 3 posts away from 1,000 posts.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be PR. We're never going to be able to really hit them in the... any PR, and they won't.
I'm really interested to see what happens Monday morning when the guys wake up, when the people that have Activision wake up, and the emails are overloaded, the mail servers are crashing, and someone's got to take note. Someone's got to say something.
Well, Monday is when they have their big meeting every Monday. 1 o'clock our time.
And Rob, what did you do over the weekend?
Every Monday is a big meeting.
Well, he was in Amsterdam, so I'm guessing drinking beer and looking at hookers.
And tanking sales on the PCs.
Yeah, it just reached 1,000 posts.
Woot. 16,000, here we come.
I think the sad fact is that, it's a nice number and whatnot, but it's still a speck of dust on the shoulder, which they can quite happily rub off with some more console crap. So, yeah, that's the sad truth about it, which is just rather unfortunate.
Well, this is what I was talking about.
This is gonna... Go ahead, Jock.
This is just... Oh, sorry.
Or Souls. Either one.
Yeah, go Souls.
I was just going to say, this is... I think when you were about to say this is only like the first, few hours of knowing this. I mean, I'm sure it'll get larger.
Yeah, like I said earlier in the broadcast, I had people on Xfire, probably about 6, 7, even some 10 hours away, and people have no idea what's going on just from viewing what other people have on their away message on Xfire. So, a lot of people still don't know at this point because it's so new.
And I know the first thing I did was I ran over to Amazon to see if anyone was leaving user reviews for Modern Warfare 2. And there's already been a couple posts there saying that there's no dedicated servers for the PC. So I'd highly recommend that if you frequent any of the online retailers that offer you the ability to leave a comment, don't leave anything smart-ass or anything like that, but to leave a well-written, informative post in regards to what to expect on the PC side, and spread the word.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying before, this could be another double-edged sword. I mean, they could be like, okay, there's a big people not going to be paying for this, so let's go ahead and fix it for them. Or they're going to be like, okay, they're pissing us off to the point where we're not even going to do a PC release next time.
Right, and this might work in their favor. Now they only have to they only have to make 1,000 copies to sell for the PC.
I mean, do we know if the game's gone gold yet?
Not at all. Not that we know.
Be close.
Surely if the game had gone gold already, we would have found out minimum specs and things like this by now.
It's IW talking.
It's usually a month. They leave themselves a month to get it duplicated and stuff, usually, right?
Yeah, I think World at War, it was very close. It was 2 or 3 weeks prior. So usually I think we would give us a month. And to me, it should go gold, and that's when everyone goes on vacation. They all come back for the release, but for some reason they don't do that. I think World at War was a lot closer than a month.
Just another quick shout out for anyone that wants to support COD 5 and doing competition play there. Go to pound invite scrim COD 5, pound invite scrim COD 5, and let's see how many people we can get in there. I think we're just about to wrap this up. We've gone 2.5 hours now. We do have another phone call. Oh, never mind. He just hung up. But, get the word out to your friends. Let them know what is going on. I know a lot of the competitive players, during the rumors and stuff, over the 2 weeks that we had the rumors that we weren't going to have dedicated servers, they were like, they had absolutely no clue that was happening. So we need to make sure that inform all the people that don't actually keep up with the news, to care and actually either sign up for the petition or cancel their pre-orders or do something to show their support. That and to start following bashandslash.com.
Or they would have found out.
But this is the last chance for everyone to get their shout-outs in. irc.gamesearch.net, pound bash and slash or pound defrag TV. See, there was another thing. I have a text here. This is from San Diego, California. If PC gaming were to ever die, what would happen to the multi-billion-dollar enthusiast hardware segment? So I would imagine the video card companies and stuff like that.
Well, Newegg has always hosted tournaments. Not console tournaments. At least I don't think.
I think we're at a stage in that industry we're going to see a downturn, not just because of the economy, but already NVIDIA has been posting some losses. They've had problems with chip production. I can only foresee that the gaming industry the PC gaming industry, or the lack of it, is going to have a direct effect on that enthusiast market. People don't overclock or build these machines to run spreadsheets or surf the web. That's what netbooks are for. They build these boxes for gaming, and gaming has always pushed. And again, NASCAR, Formula One, that's what has pushed a lot of other industries. And that's what we can consider ourselves.
Rude Dog?
Yes.
If tell me, and maybe Garrett Jackson also tell me, sort of weigh in on this. But one of the reasons why I think that CS has done as well as it has is because of the low entry that you had to vault over to play it. You don't need a huge quad system or whatever with the latest 2 series cards or whatever. I mean, you can play it on a calculator. I mean, isn't there something to be said for having a kind of a game that doesn't tax your system that much?
I think we're looking at the first time in hit. Oh, go ahead, Garrett.
Well, I initially with CS I'd say yes, but then Source came out that kind of taxed the systems at that time pretty well, and it still did well. So to an extent, yes. I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt. What were we going to say, Rudolph?
If you look at this cycle, the last couple years, the PC gaming support has kind of started to taper off from the developers, and I think that is why you haven't really seen much of an increase in system specs. These developers are not pushing the system. The last company, Crytek with Crysis, really pushed the hardware. There's really no games out there that you can't, current systems several years ago can't play. So why upgrade our hardware? If developers like IW are not pushing the hardware, there's no reason to upgrade. And so it's a vicious cycle like that.
But is the cycle attached to the fact that they're dealing with a 5-year-old video card on an X?
Exactly. I think that is why Microsoft's in a very unique situation. Microsoft has a lot of different business units. One of them is the Xbox Live, or the media business unit. The other one is games for Windows. Microsoft will do things unbeknownst to its own self that'll hurt itself, i.e., the Xbox division is really hurting the games for Windows division. And because developers are so focused on trying to develop for Xbox Live, there is no need to push for DX9 or 10. Hence, why people were happy with XP and didn't really move to Vista, among other things. So I think, I've said this during my Games for Windows call, that Microsoft is its biggest enemy when it comes to games for Windows, and they don't do enough to support the games for Windows side of the business like Xbox Live supports the Xbox Live side of the business.
Can I throw another query in here? Red Rock and a bunch of other guys on my IRC want to discuss the Valve anti-cheat, VAC. Does anybody? I mean, I've used CS a little bit. I can't really comment on VAC. I've heard good things about it, but if anybody, has any of you guys had any better experience?
I actually almost hired the guy that the hacker that cracked VAC 2. Right? And for COD2. Infinity Ward wasn't happy with PB, so I actually was creating an anti-cheat and was sell it to them and was going to meet with them and blah blah blah. So I had put together a team of people. But VAC 2, the advantage VAC 2, as you know, is downloaded into memory, whereas PB is on your hard. So if I want to hack it, it's a hell of a lot easier when the source code is there and I can run it through a decompiler and not have to go through grabbing it from memory and so forth. So I mean, just from that simple example, it's a lot better. It's a lot better. We had these discussions before that you have PB bans and Punk Busted, and yeah, they do kind of a good job. And my heart, good job to the communities trying to do that. But with VAC runs it. VAC, you have a centralized streaming system, so you don't have people to deal with. People that may, make decisions based on clan loyalties or whatever. You don't have to worry about that. But on the other hand, and when when you're banned, and that's it. So, I mean, and it's streamed to every single server. community-wide. So from that perspective, it's a good thing. It's not perfect, I mean, but I think it's better than PB.
This is the annoying thing. IW have made all the right decisions, bar one. And that's the most vital one, which is just really annoying. Moving from PB to VAC, great decision. You know, you can't not say that they've made the right decision there, but then going down this non-dedicated route is just ridiculous. Root, you know you were saying about the whole... Oh, sorry, go on.
I was saying, sorry to hop in. My biggest complaint about is the fact that you lag every 10 seconds. Like, it never used to be like that. Now you get in the server, in the first 2 minutes of that experience, you're sitting there waiting for the PB lag to go away. And then recently, it's actually been coming back in the middle of a scrim or whatever. Like, I don't understand why it's doing that. And also, like, you know, PB doesn't really catch the cheaters the way it used to, so I'm all for going to VAC.
By the way, this is Snatch from Team Pandemic. Snatch, you might want to fix your fan going on in the background.
It's always the fan.
Yep.
Going back to... Oh, sorry. Yeah, just going back to the whole, you know, the spec requirements and things like this, and I brought it up in the other EFRAG cast earlier on today. I can't understand how Infinity Ward got it so wrong with this spec thing, because if, as they've said, you know, modding and config making and things is going to be so much more difficult for the actual end user. If with this matchmaking mod, they're aiming this at casual PC gamers. These casual PC gamers aren't going to have the machines that can run the spec that requires extra graphics for everything and has all these additional textures and modules in there. For example, like the paper flying around everywhere. And I mean, how could they possibly think that all the PC gamers have a PC that will run this? It just doesn't make sense.
All the more reason why the question then. You know, I agree. You know, it seems like they're making up one excuse for something else. It doesn't really make sense. If no one knows how to use a common web browser, how will someone coming in that unbeknown the PC is new to them know how to use this matchmaking feature? You know, I'll be honest with you. I think we the old timer PC community are going to find it harder to use this matchmaking feature than these newbies coming in and that never touched the PC before. Not to mention the game requirements and so forth.
And the fact that I think that they're changing it to console, and a lot of us PC gamers aren't familiar with the console way of, you know, finding a scrim or a match or, you know, playing whatever. It makes it that much tougher.
My daughter, my two daughters, I'll be honest, my disclaimer, I own 2 PS3s, I own a Wii, a GameCube, several GameCubes, you know, I own a lot of the modern and past consoles. I sat down and bought Left 4 Dead. I sat down with my daughter to play Left 4 Dead on a console with her, and it took me 20 minutes to try to figure out how to join a match. It was ridiculous. And then there's the issues of if there's a match already in progress. It was just, it was a disaster. And that's the way they want to pass it on to us.
The last time I tried to play Xbox, I was playing, I think, Battlefront, and I've never owned a console in my life. I've always been a PC gamer, and I remember trying to play with my buds, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're good at games. Come on, let's play this." And I was like, "Okay, I'm good at games. I'll play this." And then I pick up that controller, and then I try to actually just move around in the game, and I end up just looking at the ground, spinning in circles because I can't figure out the inverted joystick and the. I don't understand. They're so constricted playing with this dumb controller. Maybe I'm just dumb. I can't figure it out.
You know, and the downside is if you're playing on a console, you know, and you join a server, you don't know until after you've joined that server if your ping is going to be even remotely good, unless you have local friends that you're connecting off of.
I just can't wait to play with that kid down the street and do it. I think John said, and go over there and beat him up for beating me.
Yeah, the 5-year-old down the street.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if we even show ping in the browser or whatever they're calling it.
I'm interested to see if there is a browser.
Well, you know, right now after IW announced that there's going to be, you know, 2, 3, 4 times as many pirates just so they don't have to buy the game because they don't plan on playing it any further than that.
I mean, the only reason, in my eyes, if this game is a fail with Daddy servers, is to play the single player, and I refuse to pay $60 for a B-movie experience.
In a day and age where internet and like worldwide gaming is paramount, I mean, it's just not a logical option. Yeah, let's pay £60 for a game I'm going to play by myself. Yeah, right.
I truly think that they just don't get it. You know, I've already seen the people. You know, the number one reason why. Oh, I'm sorry. The number one reason why most people pirate a game is because my personal opinion is they've had a bad experience with that developer and they don't trust them anymore. It's not because about money and it's not because about wanting the game for free. It's because they had a bad experience where they gave their money to a specific developer and they got burnt. And that's why they say the next game, I'm not going to buy it now. You already have my money for a game that I didn't end up playing and you won't return because it didn't do what you promised or it didn't run on my system even though I met the system requirement.
I just want to point out something. I have people PMing me in IRC, you know, asking me to start the COD 5 League again for XPL. You know, there's people wanting to play COD 5, so that's an option we've talked about. And looks like there's already interest gathering.
Guys, I really appreciate the chat and stuff tonight. I mean, it's like now 4:45 a.m. UK time. I'm going to head off now. I think I'm absolutely shattered. So cheers to the chat, and yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon.
Thanks for coming on, Alex.
Take care, Alex. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, you too, man. Speak soon.
Good night. Get some sleep. It's only been 10 hours on vent today.
American football training tomorrow. Oh my god. See you later.
Good night, man.
Yeah,
I've
been playing the COD 5 on the E-Frag server. It's kind of a reminisce of last, I think, but the game came out a year ago. It was actually it was fun, but I don't see it becoming a competitive game, to be honest. But it's still fun to mess around with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point, we really don't have too much more to say until we have a chance to confirm some nitty-gritty details from 402 or the dev team, and that's not going to be possible until Monday. So, Jock, what do you think about resuming this Monday?
Sure. I will tell you another reason why I like COD 5 is it's the only game I've ever fragged both Wombat and Rob Wiz in, which... and just for that, I like it.
Pro in the making.
No, it was totally by accident, actually.
See, you're not supposed to say that.
It's true, though.
Jock, did you know Snatch was my teammate?
Wow, is he that old?
That's cold, baby.
Yeah, that's where it is right now.
Fairly young in my defense when I played with Garrett Jack.
We were on a Cal Invite Team DFI motherboards. Sponsored.
You know, I'm also wondered within the upcoming days here, just looking off Xfire, how many minutes are played going up with all the other Call of Duty games? I know Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 4 are still pretty high on the numbers. They're still under WoW, but I wonder if those numbers jump significantly in the next few days.
Well, I mean, we'll never beat WoW when it comes to numbers.
COD 4's gotten close a few days.
That's just on Xfire, though.
Yeah.
There are millions of people playing WoW.
Yeah, but I posted in Bash and Slash, you know, the Steam stats. 1.59 million was the peak. Granted, it's all the Steam games, but that's still for a non-WoW.
Yeah. Well, Xfire just completely lagged out my... the website just completely lagged out Firefox for me. Wonderful. Gotta love Xfire. But anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We'll try to bring this back on Monday, I think, maybe the same time or earlier in the night so Europe people can pop on. But check out bashandslash.com or eFrag TV for more info about that. We'll let you know tomorrow or sometime soon. But yeah, I mean, post your support, cancel your pre-orders, and let's show IW we mean business. I do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. We want to thank Rebel Servers for hosting our dedicated server. Without them, eFrag would not be possible, so check them out, www.rebelservers.com. Jock, do you have any shout-outs?
I'd like to shout out to my wife. Also, like to shout out to all the guys in the community who are going through this. I still don't think I'm going to make too many quick judgments. I'm going to actually probably buy the game. I'm actually going to probably buy MW2. I'm going to check it out. I'm not going to say anything bad about something that I don't know anything about, and that's just the way I'm thinking right now. And we will be tweeting anything that we do live together here on my Twitter, and the Twitter is actually on my site on bashandslash.com, and we will be live as usual 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings for those of you who want to wake up that early. That's Eastern Standard Time, so the Euros don't have to fight sleep to be able to listen to us. We're on at 10 a.m. Next week. Just go to bashandslash.com and we'll be there.
Does anyone else have any shout-outs they'd like to give? I'm sure, Rudog, you'd like to give a shout to your site.
Yeah, thank you. First, I really appreciate you having me on. It's a pleasure to meet everyone, and this is I think this is counseling for all of us PC gamers to talk about our frustrations about this recent news. But a big shout out my website fpsadmin.com for all your dedicated server needs. Not that you'll need them with Modern Warfare 2. You can follow me on Twitter, The Real Rude Dog. And again, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. What about you, Garrett Jacks? Sorry.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. My website's a blank page right now. CODTV.tv. I'm working on it for World at War, so I don't know if we're bored and have nothing to be miserable about, maybe we'll do some testing or something, some matches, and frag each other to get out our frustrations. We'll see what's going on.
Go code
and
something.
With COD TV, anyone can watch it. Anyone can watch the fragging. It's like a pay-per-view moment, you know?
Garrett Jacks, go code something, for God's sakes.
It's midnight. I'm going to have a drink now.
That's unacceptable.
The coding window is... I'd have to pop open a monster now.
Well, I just finished off my amp. What about you, Prime Time? Do you have anything?
Well, I haven't really said too much tonight, but you guys had some good conversation going. I guess I'll just shout out to teampandemic.net. Check out our website and check out the content. And, yeah.
Shout out to you guys for winning Civo P again. Congratulations there. What about you, Disordered? Disorder?
Shout out to the guys at XPL and my clan that I'm at, Frag Experts. I didn't really come here for either one. I just had a voice opinion, and I talked with Smokes quite a bit, so he invited me to come on, and I stopped by.
Wow, you can actually stand Smokey? Wait, what?
That's why he's in the call screening channel.
Exactly. We all love Smokey to death. No, actually, I do want to give a big shout out to Smokey for sticking around and putting up with all the prank callers that we get. Jonesy, loser. What about you, Souls? You have anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out, well, kind of a personal shout out to you guys for letting me be on at short notice, and also just my community and TBG and the PC gaming as a whole. Just keep surviving and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Are you guys going to be in here after the podcast is over?
We will be at least I will be for a few minutes. I'm sure
Okay.
We're going to go to sleep here soon. But final shout out again, rebelservice.com for sponsoring our dedicated server. Shout out to Bash and Slash and Jock for popping on and help making this possible. Without you, Jock, I mean, Mod 2 is completely dead. I mean, there's no chance. No chance. You're one of the only outlets we have, so shout out to you for putting up with all of us and giving a frack about us.
Thanks, man.
Running a good site out there.
Indeed.
Thanks, man.
Let's see. I was asked to give this a shout. If anyone wants to support competition play in mod or Call of Duty World at War, go check. Go idle pound efred or wow. See, it's been a long night. Pound invite scrim COD 5. I'll post that up later. And again, thank you all for coming out. This has been a simulcast between bashandslash.com and eFrag TV, and we will talk to you all again on Monday. Have a good night.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Night.
Take care.